Welcome back, Hypno Junkies, to another episode of Chaos Head Noah. Nailed the stinger. So, things are continuing to move along. I'm kind of liking the pacing of this game. I was expecting, as I said before, a slow boil a la Steins Gate, but we've been having some stuff happening here. So last episode, we've had our fourth murder incident, as gruesome and freaky as any of the others. I'm not sure it lines up with the FES prophecy, but that has yet to be determined. According to the name of the chapter, we might be getting some more information on Shogun as well. So whether or not that is us, I mean, we've tried to verify this. I'm sure there's more to it than just alternate personality or whatever, but from the sound of it, we have further enlightenment on that matter coming in this chapter. Also, we're getting a little more elaboration on these weapons here, as we have now been confronted by someone who has one, and it looks like they follow the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stand rules, where you can only see the weapons if you have a weapon, and our main guy doesn't yet, but I'm pretty sure I've seen art with him having one, so I'm sure that's something that we've got coming. And it makes me wonder how these people can identify each other. At first, it seemed like the girl with the long hair and the giant-ass purple-bladed greatsword was just standing around with it to see who noticed her, as a way to, you know, maybe find out who else might have one. But she also stopped us in the hallway long before we'd ever seen one and just said, "Hey, you." So I don't know if there's some reason why she picked us out. It also makes me wonder why FES was waving hers on the stage. Was she just trying to see who was following it or what was going on? And that might explain why she saw us in the back. That could also be a delusion. Who the hell knows? The long-haired girl also alluded to us being gathered. What is gathered? How have we been gathered? What is this gathering? I don't recall a gathering occurring to my person. So hopefully the answers for that come as well. But last time, when we left off, on this half-hearted scream, which I'm gonna guess is the Nami, or possibly a new character, or possibly that Kanoe that we saw earlier. I forget her name off the top of my head. Oh, never mind. We have not done a protag switch again. We're still our guy. Probably Nanami then. A mysterious screech resounded from far away. The sudden nature of it made me jump, and when I slowly looked in the direction it came from... Yep. Shit. Why? Why you? Why are you here? That's me. What can I do for you? Oh, I almost thought she ran away. Nanami rushed toward me with staggering speed. I tried to run away, but it was too late. She'd already circled around me and blocked my path. She always did have amazing reflexes. My God, did he just compliment her? Why'd you try to run away when you saw me? I'll take rhetorical questions for 1,000, Alex. Maybe because you're incredibly annoying. Jeez, you're always so quick to clam up like that. Oh yeah, you have a voice. You don't have a good voice, but you have a voice. Damn it, why did she decide to go to Sume of all places? That decision had done nothing but cause me endless pain and suffering. Whenever she ran into me on the way to school, she always stuck her nose in my business without fail. Hey, do you like your new phone? Are you using it? Let me guess, probably not, right? Good guess. I remember when it rang and our guy was like, "What the hell is that?" It's been days and days since we bought it, but you haven't called home a single time. That's how I know. Doing my best to break free, I started speed walking, but Nanami was determined to keep up. You could at least call home and let us know you're alive, you know. That's why we bought it in the first place. No. If you can't bear to do that for whatever reason, you can, you know, just call me. Because Mom's worried about you. Have you been eating right? No. Why'd I even ask? You've probably been surviving off nothing but stuff from the convenience store. Hey, you guys are the ones that went to McDonald's for lunch. I knew you'd be helpless living on your own. Just come back home, you butt. Do you have any idea how I feel whenever I come to check up on you? See, this is why we ran when we saw you, okay? You are just the living personification of a nag. I'm always so worried about you. I just can't help it. Well, stop. Yeah, shut the fuck up! What the hell's your problem? Are you my mom or something? Stop talking about shit like this. We're on the side of the road. It's humiliating. I've already begun feeling like shit, yet this bitch has somehow managed to come along and make me feel even worse. Let's get out of here. Hey, this is that corner where Yuo was following us. There's nothing on this earth more embarrassing than walking to school with your younger sister. The situation came about quite often in Eroge. Hell, I'd always longed for it to happen to me, but Nanami was nothing compared to 2D little sisters. Less than nothing. Damn it, world, give me a cuter younger sister. Why isn't reality like anime, damn it? A slightly tense atmosphere hung in the air between us as we walked side by side towards school. I looked at Nanami to see if there was any chance of escape before we reached the gate. Even though she had been yammering on and on just a little bit ago, she had fallen completely silent, now walking with an absent-minded look on her face. It even looked like her eyes weren't really focused on the road, but that was probably just my imagination. Her footsteps were unsteady. What's going on? Something must be wrong with her, I suspected. She kept on swaying back and forth, and about a moment later, she stumbled right out onto the road, right as a car came racing toward her. What the hell? Hey, watch out! Panicking, I grabbed Nanami's arm and yanked her back. The horn of a car blared as it sped by. She just barely avoided getting run over. What the hell are you doing, dumbass? Huh? Huh? Nanami blinked a few times, then tilted her head to the side. Why did I do that? Again, there's got to be some sort of abilities or powers certain people have to influence others. We've seen evidence of it several times that is separate from magic giant greatswords. I'm curious what's going on here. Huh? I was at a loss for words. She was an honest-to-God fucking idiot. Yeah, but this is separate from that. She didn't even understand her own actions, and for the record, that wasn't Moe! Not even close. Seriously, what were you doing? Are you trying to get run over? Was there a car? Caps lock. Yes, there was a car. What was up with this total fucking ditz of a sister? Something just made her space out. Hey, big bro, that whirring sound just now. Didn't you hear it? What? What was she talking about? I hadn't heard jack shit. When I heard that sound, my head went all fuzzy for some reason. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. And over there, is there someone? Nanami pointed at the corner of the road. Do we have an actual culprit? Oh! I saw Mom and Dad. They were calling me. Never mind, she hallucinated it. When I looked to where Nanami was pointing, I didn't see our parents. Instead, I saw a creepy man standing in that exact spot. Oh? Do I get a Sprite? He wore a plaid shirt, fingerless gloves, jeans rolled up at the bottom, and white sneakers. He had a rucksack on his back that was filled to bursting. He looked like an otaku plucked straight out of Akihabara. Akihabara. I gotta say that right. Akihabara. Capping off his outfit, he was holding a video camera in one hand. Did he have a voyeur fetish or some shit? Hey, don't point at strangers. This is an awful lot to say about someone who we haven't seen here. God, what a rude-ass sister. Show me the guy. Besides, it made no sense for our parents to be here in the first place. They lived in, holy hell, that's a word, Shimokitazawa, after all. That's so weird. I know I heard my name. The man started looking our way, then he pointed the camera lens at us. What? What the hell was wrong with him? The only dude we've seen so far that might fall under creepy old man even close is Japanese Columbo, but I don't think we're talking about him. Let's go, Nanami. Clearly he's trying to affect us with something. Frightened, I quickly ran from the scene, leaving Nanami behind. Oh, that might not be the wisest move. Hey, big brother, wait for me! I want to see this guy. Show me person. Show me creepy old man. Damn it. I'd continued to ignore Nanami until we got to school, upon which I ditched her to walk down the noisiest ever hallway toward my classroom. We gonna run into long black-haired girl again? When walking down the hallway, stay along the edge, don't walk too fast or too slow, don't make eye contact with anybody. Those were the 3 rules I always followed. That was how I didn't stand out in school. I transformed myself into an existence akin to air itself. That was the secret to success. I'm not seeing a whole lot of success. What is this success that you are referring to?
Yo, Taku.
Yo, Taku, Mizumi. Yet people like him definitely made it hard to actually work. Catching up to me from behind, Mizumi-kun greeted me in his normal, overly friendly fashion by clapping a hand on my shoulder.
Oisa.
Oisa! Is that what you said? What's up? Come on, you can at least greet me back. Well, whatever. I already know you're not really that kind of guy. Oh yeah, you have a voice. Hey, remember the chick I was talking about a couple weeks back from Class D? You know, the super cute one that doesn't come to school that often? Is this going to be our murderer? We need to see this person. We speculated this was the murderer quite often. I want to see her. Her name's Kishimoto Ayase. Kishimoto Ayase. Anyway, I discovered something absolutely insane about her. Mizumi-kun suddenly lowered his voice, then looked around us. It was just going to be something vulgar, wasn't it? Already tired of his BS, almost let out a sigh. So, you know Fess, right? F-E-S, whatever. But what he said made me bite it back. That Kishimoto chick, she is F-E-S. Oh, interesting. That really threw me for a loop. I can't believe F.E.S. is a student at our school. Does she look the same? Is she wearing a wig or something to hide her identity? And did you know she's in the same year as us too? How did you find this out? For whatever reason, Mizumi-kun leaned his upper body out the window, then gazed up toward the sky with a look of pure ecstasy. I'm getting laid tonight. This has to be that faith thing everyone's always talking about. This was the 3rd floor. If he were to slip, he'd fall to the ground and break his neck, ending his life just like that. These windows seemed closed. My anxiety steadily climbed as I watched him. Mizumi-kun leaned further and further and further out the window before switching his gaze down toward the entrance beneath it. Oh shit! Speak of the devil! Taku! I see Kishimoto! She'll be here any minute now. So now I get to call her an actual name instead of trying to figure out whether she's F-E-S or Fess or whatever the hell. Show me her, show me her. With so many coincidences piling up one after the other, maybe it really was fate. Not that I cared. All right, I'll be waiting to pounce on her here. I'll show you a thing or two about picking up chicks. Now, watch me work. He was brimming with self-confidence. Man, alpha males like him really were impressive. Picking up girls and all that was a completely different world for me. It wasn't even worth trying. Yeah, but the girls pick you up. You have it even easier. Yes. Oh, no, you are just you. Same sprite, different clothes. Oh, yeah, I guess we actually saw her looking like this on the bridge, didn't we? She was wearing this uniform, if I'm not mistaken. A few minutes later, F.E.S. Kishimoto Ayase appears. How is it a secret where you are? You are literally just F.E.S. You're not even trying. It was just like Misumi-kun said. She really was F.E.S. I made sure of that while observing her from a safe distance. Well, now we're observing her from a close distance, and we can still make sure of it. I still couldn't believe she was in the same year as us. She was wearing a Sume uniform. A distinct aloofness came from her expression as she walked slowly down the hallway. Is she going to notice us like she noticed us at the concert? Or, again, was that a delusion? Or will this also be a delusion? It gave off a completely different impression than the one she'd had on stage. Back then, despite her apathetic tone, I'd felt a sense of power and liveliness emanating off of her. But now, the aura she gave off felt listless and unapproachable. Ignoring this, likely deliberately, Mizumi-kun strolled over to her with the same overly friendly attitude he always had with me, then casually stopped right next to her.
Yo, Kishimoto-san. Oh, hayo.
This might be the first time we've actually seen Mizumi from a distance at a normal sprite scale. He's usually right up in our face. Yo, Kishimoto-san, good morning! Whoa, his smile was so invigorating, despite it being so obviously fake. I had no idea how he was able to act like that around someone he barely knew. That's why we love him. That's why we admire him. Second time this reference has been made this game. Then again, I didn't really want to be him.
俺三角大輔
Oh yeah, I'm Misumi Daisuke. Nice to finally meet you. Is this the first time we got Mizumi's last name? I'm sure it was probably mentioned when he was first introduced.
おっと初対面とか
Oh wait, that might make you think we haven't met before, right? But nope, not true.
俺さこないだ
So, I went to a Phantasm concert the other day, and you know what that means?
君に会う
It means it's our second time seeing each other.
でその時君の歌声に
And I just want to say, your voice back then, how do I put this? It gave me the chills. I like the sprites that are being used here because it looks like FES is just looking at us while Mizumi's trying to chat her up and she's just ignoring him.
別に俺ミーハーとかじゃねえよ
Zero fucks
聞
given.
かれたのはさ
And I'm not the type of guy to follow the herd, you know. Sure, I was taken in by your lyrics and how cute you are and stuff like that. But what impressed me the most was how perfectly in sync you and your band were.
あの音あっての君
You
の歌声
know, like how perfect their sound and your voice work together. You gotta show me what real harmony's like.
ちなみに俺も実は
Fun fact about me, I've always wanted to start a band. So if it's cool with you, could you tell me how to find some bandmates or any other tips you think I should know? He hasn't said, or she hasn't said anything to him. She hasn't responded to a single thing he said. She's just standing there looking at us.
今すぐじゃ迷惑だろうから
But that's kind of putting you on the spot, isn't it? So maybe not. Wait, I know. Are you free after school today? How about we go and take some time to talk about it? Mizumi-kun just kept on talking and talking with no breaks. His tone was different than usual, and it was obviously fake. Not only that, but it wasn't hitting on her directly, instead using the band angle in order to invite her somewhere nonchalantly. I'd never heard this fun fact about Mizumi-kun wanting to start a band before. It had to be a lie. He was willing to go that far in order to win some points, to force a flag rather than obtain it naturally. I'm going to speedrun your route, okay? But there we go. I had a feeling one of those was going to come up. FES didn't even so much as look at him. She simply continued to walk down the hallway at the same pace, as if not a sound had reached her ears.
なあ聞いてる
Hey, are you listening? It would be interesting if she was deaf. Suddenly, FES stopped in her tracks. Her slightly lowered gaze slowly rose up, and then, looking at me, yep, she looked at me. This is the second time she'd done this, and both times were in a delusion state, so one of these days I'm going to learn how to play this game. Come to think of it, why am I doing Mizumi's voice? Come to think of it, the same thing had happened at the concert. Yeah, exactly. It felt like FES was staring directly at me. Just in general, I've been stared at by a whole bunch of freaky 3D girls over the past couple of weeks. God, what the hell was going on? Was I becoming popular now? Is this what popular feels like? And there goes the delusion, and there goes her. Naturally, I averted my eyes, so I'd only met her gaze for just a second.
見つけて早く剣
Yeah, there we go. Your sword. Find it. Quickly. Again, our boy. He's gonna get something. I don't know why he's a part of this, or what these powers are coming from, or what the hell's going on, but that was not a delusion. That was outside the gameplay mechanic. Unless the gameplay mechanic, if I pick something, makes that line of dialogue not come up. Who the hell knows? Suddenly, FES spoke. Very little energy could be felt from her apathetic tone. I had no idea if these words were directed at me or Mizumi-kun.
剣
Do either of you have a sword? A
そう
sword?
すれば君は
If you
救われ
do,
る
you shall be granted salvation. What is going on with these swords and stuff? Also, not everyone has swords. I'm pretty sure the girl who was a murderer, if she's the girl we saw in the opening cinematic, which I can't remember if she is or not, she had a bow. I feel like all the characters have slightly different weapons. Like, FES seems to have a one-handed sword. That black-haired girl has a great sword. A two-hander. Those are the only two we've seen in the game so far, aside from the bow in the original, like the first opening CG. When she finished whispering at what seemed like no one in particular, her eyes returned to the floor and she began to walk away. She slipped straight past me and entered Class D. Mizumi-kun and I watched her go. The two of us completely and utterly lost. Okay, so we speculated, and by we I mean me and only me, speculated that the student from Class D was actually the murderer. It's not. It's FES.
な
Now we
あ
know.
タグ
Hey, Taku? Mizumi-kun was very clearly sulking. In the end, despite his efforts, FES hadn't paid any attention to him at all. It must have been pretty rough to have her completely ignore his entire existence. Something we're very used to. Yeah, exactly. I was kind of used to that sort of
俺
thing.
はここまで
I've never had my pride torn to shreds like that before. I'm just gonna sit here and have a little sulk.
くそ
You've lost your touch, Tasuke. Damn it.
ちょっと
I'm getting old.
だからって調子乗りや
What
がっ
a
て
bitch. All full of yourself just because you're a little famous.
あんな不愛想な女
I
もう
won't
二度と相手
even
にしてやる
bother
もんか
trying
よ
again with an antisocial bitch like her.
あーうぜえ
Man, he talks about Fess like we talk about our sister. God damn it. This sucks ass.
大体何が剣を見つけ
What
る
was up with that finding a sword shit anyway? Makes no sense to me. A sword. Could that possibly be referring to that mic stand thing she'd been using during a concert? Stop calling it a mic stand. It was very clearly a giant sword. Come to think of it, there being another person a couple of days ago that interrogated me about a sword. Yeah, her. Senna. Yes, thank you for reminding me of her name. The one who was absolutely terrifying. I'd actually thought she was going to slice me in two. The sword she'd been carrying was a different shape than the one Fess had, but they had a similar aura to them. Could the two of them be connected somehow? I don't know. There was way too much shit I did not know. We haven't even fully established the fact that no one else can see these swords. I'm honestly just speculating that from the facts that we know, but that seems to be the case. Also, what's with the bullet points? Shogun, the demon... Wait, can I... No, I can't pick them. Hovering over them does nothing. Shogun, the demon girl, Yua, FES, Senna, and just swords. These are pretty much our girls. If Senna and FES were a mystery, but we got introduced to them. There is that one little girl, Kanoe, something like that. We haven't followed up on her yet. Shogun is supposedly us. Okay, clicking made the bullet points go away. As was my old habit, I jotted down a list of all the things I didn't know enough about in my head. I'd meant to put myself as one final item on that list, but I decided against it. I was completely normal. It's everyone else that's crazy. It was the stuff happening around me that wasn't. That was the most obvious conclusion. Is it me? No, it's the children who are wrong. Was FES my ally? Or my enemy? It would be nice to know at least that much. Problem was I didn't have the courage to ask her. And we fade. Okay, back to Animate. Are we going to run into Yua again? Today I headed straight for Animate without stopping by Cafe. We haven't talked to Yua in a while. We had a brief bit about her when she was investigating a dissociative identity disorder on her computer, but her interactions with our main protag here, we haven't seen her since Chapter 1. Oh, yeah, we'll probably run into Yua. The reason, of course, was to finally pick up my long-awaited Blood-Toon figure, Seratan, post-awakening version. There we go. While I was in checkout, Yua's face crossed my mind for a second, but I cut off those thoughts immediately. I glanced at the Seratans that were set up on display in order to attract customers, but since the sculptor was Kijima Yoshio, not a single word needed to be said about their quality. I had to get home fast so I could enjoy her every nook and cranny as soon as possible. Foo-hee-hee-hee. You? Gross? As long as I could admire Seratan's face every now and then while I played ESO, I was content. So why did the entire third dimension do nothing but bring me trouble? It plagued me even now. I headed straight for my base in high spirits, forgetting all about FES and swords and whatever else, and practically skipping the entire way home. Watch his sword be a weapon that Sarah uses in the oh my goodness. Never mind! Interrupting that train of thought. While I was about 50 meters away, I encountered two men who carried an unmistakably abnormal air about them. Yeah, I was wondering when we were going to run into you guys. I attempted to pass by them without making eye contact, but they were very clearly watching me.
そこの君、ちょっといいかい？
Ah, there we go, yeah. This is where we get in trouble. I actually was trying to think of how I was going to do a Peter Falk voice with this guy, because I really, really, really want him to be Japanese Columbo, because look at him. My God. Let's see. Excuse me. I'm not even going to try to do the voice. I'm just going to try to do the mannerisms, because there's no way I can do the voice. Excuse me. Yeah, you, over there. Could we have a moment? The first of the two to call out to me was a duller old man, one that looked like he belonged at a cycling racetrack, gambling his life away. His hair was a mess, and his unshaven beard was somehow worse. He wore a worn-out old suit, a sloppily tied necktie, and dress shoes that didn't show a trace of being cared for. All of it came together to form an unparalleled example of a man who'd failed to get ahead in life. Lovely. For some reason, the fact that he was flapping a fan at himself only served to further emphasize how pathetic he looked. Hey, it's disarming, just like Columbo. His expression was similarly languid, his mouth curled into a flippant smile. And yet, when our eyes met for a split second, I knew that he wasn't really smiling. There was nowhere to run. As I searched for something to reply to them with, the two men made their way up to me. In case you're wondering who we are. The old man took out a black badge from his suit and held it out to me. It was the same kind of police badge you'd see in various TV shows, like Columbo, but it was obviously the first time I'd ever seen a real one. They've finally come for me. They could only be here for one thing, the crucifixion case. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? We won't force you, of course. Oh, no, don't worry. You can take it easy. We're not after you or anything. I just want to hear your take on things, honest. The way he spoke didn't show a trace of trying to intimidate me. The other, younger detective, however, wore a strict expression as he nonchalantly moved to block my path. Sweat started running down my neck. If I made any wrong moves, they'd likely suspect me of being the culprit and haul me down to the station right there and then. I didn't want that to happen. God, I could really use a sword right now. I resigned to myself, then gave a small nod. Let's see. Have you heard about what's commonly referred to as the new generation madness? I knew it. I wiped the beads of sweat off my forehead, then gave him a nod in reply. Well then, would you also know about the third case, aka the crucifixion case, correct? It did happen right here in this neighborhood, after all. We've been looking for witnesses. Oh, and while we're at it, could you tell me a name? A gulp forced itself down my throat. This wasn't some bait-and-switch shit, was it? Or maybe they were a bunch of con men who were only acting like policemen, while in reality they were just mining my personal information so they could put it all to ill use. They could even be the demon girl's underlings. Hey, are you still there? Did we lose you? If they started to suspect me, there'd be no end to it. What should I do? If they gave them a fake name, they might arrest me immediately. Oh, are you worried about protecting your personal info? Oh, do I really look that untrustworthy? I'll say. Either way, his friendly way of speaking had to be just an act. Nishijo Takumi. In the end, I figured there was no way around it, that it was in my best interest to answer honestly. Nishijo Takumi-kun. Do you mind if I call you that? I shook my head. You sure about that? Oh, his face has changed. Columbo's getting mad. Huh? What was that supposed to mean? I had purposely given him my real name, so what the hell was that reaction? I'm sorry. I'm just yanking your chain of scotch. A scotch? What the hell word is that? Don't worry about it. The detective's unnatural laughter rang throughout the quiet residential area. Just hurry up and let me go already. That uniform of yours, it's from Psy'Min, ain't it? What year are you? Did I have to answer stuff like that? Second. Sorry, I didn't catch that. I'm at that age where your ears start to go. Can you run that by me one more time? I'm a second year. Second year. Got it. All right then. Nishiju-san. asked for what we wanted to ask you. Where were you on the 29th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.? Well, I certainly wasn't running down an alleyway away from a murder scene, that's for gosh darn sure. Are they asking me for my alibi? Did this mean they suspected me? That's ridiculous. Oh, it's not like we suspect you or anything. I just thought that if you were in the neighborhood, well, you might have seen someone suspicious or heard something, that's all. I guess we can probably prove it's not us if the cameras picked us coming and going, because supposedly that girl was sitting there banging on crucifixes for upwards of an hour. We were not in that alleyway for an hour. We were not there for that long. For some reason, the way this guy talked was really starting to get to me. Look, I'm trying to give this guy the best voice I can, okay? Pipe down in the peanut gallery. Maybe talking in a way that deliberately agitated the subject with some kind of interrogation technique. Hey, Columbo does it. It works. Of course I had seen someone suspicious. I'd seen someone very clearly with my own 2 eyes. But I wasn't sure if it would be a good idea to tell that to this shady old guy. What would I do if I told him and then the demon girl came back for revenge? It seemed like the demon girl was letting me run free for now, but she still had Shogun on her side, and he was equipped with precognitive powers, so we're still not sold on Shogun being us, huh? So by that logic, that must have meant that the demon girl had some sort of insane power as well. I want to know who tried to get Nanami run over. That was not cool. I know we hate our little sister, but she's also our little sister. And if that were true, and I told the police about it, she might find out about it immediately because of her clairvoyance or whatever, and then she'd come to kill me right after. Nishijo-kun, surely it isn't that hot out today, is it? Are we sweating that much? Water just running down our face? My heart rate skyrocketed. If I stayed silent like this, they would absolutely suspect me of being the criminal, but at the same time I was scared that if I lied and said I didn't see anything, they'd see right through me. The older man fanned me a couple of times with his fan. A cool breeze rustled my hair. He's just fanning. He was like, "You okay? You want a fan? You're sweating a little." We're pretty deep in a fall after all, so I can't say I feel like it's hot enough out to be sweating. Well, no one's built quite the same as everyone else, I suppose. Ironic, considering he was the one walking around with a fan, but he was right. It wasn't all that hot out today. It was perfect, actually. The kind of temperature you'd actually enjoy spending time in. I'd wiped the sweat off my forehead with my sleeve countless times now. Oh, well, that's not really the way to answer that question, but okay. If that's the road you want to take. I didn't do it. Oh? Yep. That's, Boy, those are not the flags you want to be tripping, my guy. The look in his eyes shifted. I realized that I'd slipped up, but I had no idea what exactly had tipped him off. You being an idiot tipped him off. What didn't you do? They definitely suspected me. I had to answer honestly. Or run. Staring at the manhole cover right beneath my feet, I began to blurt out everything. Okay, this might be productive. Or on the other hand, it might be not productive. I saw something at the crucifixion crime scene. There was a girl. She was standing in front of the body and her hands were covered in blood. Okay, we're just emptying it all out, huh? There were tons of stakes stabbed into the corpse. There had to be over 500 of them. It was so messed up. The body, it looked almost like a hedgehog. That guy had definitely lost all of his rings. The girl, she looked at me and she said, "Thank goodness," and then she smiled at me. That girl, she's not human, she's a demon. She's the culprit behind New Gen. She's a being that transcends humanity. Okay, now we're... Put the filter back on. Put the filter back on. She has precognition and super strong ESP and... Okay, Columbo, you need to... Yeah, he just feels bad for you now. Upon saying that much, I realized the two detectives were staring at me with their eyes wide. Maybe they didn't believe me. Thinking that, I clamped my mouth shut. A demon, huh? I see. That's very helpful. I'm telling the truth. I know. I never doubted that. You've given us some valuable information. Please get the police to protect me.
その前にその
Now,
女の
before we
記者
do
は
all that, do you know how old the girl was? Her clothes, her facial features, stuff like that'll also do.
水明
A Sume uniform.
水明って水
Sume?
明学園
You mean Sume Academy?
その制服
She was wearing a Sume
つ
uniform.
まり西条君と同じ
In
学校
other
の
words,
生
she
徒
goes to the same high school as you, Nishiji-kun. Nishiju-kun. After simmering on that for a moment, the old man grinned. He then muttered something that could be either an actual question or him just mumbling to himself.
何年生だろうな、その女子高生は
What year is she in, I wonder?
何年生だと思う西条
What do
君
you think, Nishiji-kun?
わからない
I don't know.
じゃあなんて名前だと思う
All right, then, what's her name?
わからないよ
I don't know that
僕
either.
はあの悪魔の名前
I
なん
don't
て
know that demon's
知ら
name.
ない
その女の身長
What
体重
about her height and her
それ
weight?
にサイズ
And,
について
oh, and while you're at it, her measurements. Columbo, you're married. What's up with this old man? Was he screwing with me? How was I supposed to know even a single one of those? Did he think I could instantly get all those measurements from a single glance? Oh, yeah, sure. I absolutely had such a stupid power. Oh, wait. No, I didn't, because this wasn't a goddamn rom-com manga. I don't know. If anybody would have a hobby of guessing people's measurements... No, actually, I take that back. He's down to 3D.
なるほど黙ってるってことだ
So,
わからない
you clamming up over there,
結構
telling me you don't know,
参考になる
no
ね
big deal. You've been a big help today.
これは本部に戻って検討し
I
な
gotta
きゃ
head
いかん
back to HQ and consider all this carefully.
先輩マジ
Uh,
っすか
Sir, are you serious? Waving his hand to silence the dumbfounded younger detective, the older man signaled something to him with his eyes.
西条君
Oh, before I
ちなみ
get...
に連絡先
One more
とか教え
thing,
てもら
one
える
more thing,
One more thing. Just one more thing.
But look, there's one other thing.
one more thing, Nishiji-kun. Could you tell us how to get a hold of you? Huh? Why? I knew they wouldn't believe me. They wanted to label me as some nut job and falsely accuse me of everything.
ああだって
Well,
悪魔
you said there was a demon,
そいつから
didn't
君
you?
を
And,
守らなくちゃ
we gotta protect you from it somehow, no? Oh, so that's why you asked. Well, thank God they actually believe me. Wow, you are one gullible son of a bitch. If I could get the police to protect me, it would be incredibly reassuring. Yes, the entity was a demon, so the police would only get one shot if they went up against her, but it was better than being unarmed. Feeling slightly relieved, I took out the phone I had bought a few days prior and showed him my phone number. The younger detective scribbled it down in his notebook.
いや忙しいところありがとうさ
Well
南
then,
の安全
time
は
for us
警
to
察が
jet.
保証する
Thank you for your
そんな心
time.
配もしなさい
We'll keep you safe, so don't you worry.
じゃあまた何か聞き
All
た
right.
いことができたら
If we have any more questions, we'll give you a ring, so keep your ears peeled.
イルスとか使わないでくれよ
Make sure not to pretend
今
like
の
you're
ところ
not there or
警察
something,
に
you
とって
hear
は
me?
君は重要な人物だ
As for now, you're an invaluable asset to the police. Huh?
君の目撃証言は事件解決
Well,
の重要
your
な手がかり
eyewitness
になるそうだ
testimony could be exactly what we need to blow this case wide open.
じゃあな
Have a good one. The two detectives bowed their heads and promptly took off. All right, that was relatively painless. After taking a glance at me over his shoulder, the younger detective whispered something to the older one. The older man paid him no mind and simply continued to walk. I let out a long, long sigh. That was intense. It was the first time I'd ever been questioned by actual detectives. I'd acted pretty suspicious without meaning to, but they believed me anyway. Somehow. God, I'd give anything for the police to arrest the demon girl. Then again, the police didn't have any special powers, so maybe I should keep my expectations low. As I've mentioned before, I keep my expectations low of any police in these kind of games. Gumshoe seems to be the standard for competence. I then noticed that my mouth had gone incredibly dry without me realizing, so I redirected myself to the nearest vending machine and got myself a cola. Ah, damn it, I forgot to get Peter Falk's autograph.
覚醒バージョン
Holy... oh, of course he's playing with his
本物
stupid
じゃん
figure.
か
Holy shit, the costume on the Post-Awakening version is way too erotic. Her panties are completely visible. But that's what's good about it. Am I going to have to censor something?
顔かわいいよ顔。
Fui, Sarah, your face is so cute, Sarah. The attempt to match the anime is somewhat lacking, but her face has that distinct eroticism to it that permeates through all of Kijima Yoshio's works, which more than makes up for it. One of your best works, Kijimi-san. Good job, my lord.
上着キャストオフとかこの角度か
Her
らじゃ
jacket is removable too? Oh, from this angle she looks almost completely naked. Holy shit.
髪の動きがい
Can
い
I
よ
edit this
な
out?
覚醒バージョンは髪が命って
The way her hair
違うわけだから
flows looks
間違
so
ってなかった
fucking
な
good. I had a theory that the hair would be what truly sells the post-awakening version, and I definitely wasn't wrong there.
さてそれではお待ちかね
Alright
パ
then,
ン
the
ツ行っ
part
て
we've
みよ
all
うか
been waiting for.
どれ
Let's take a look.
うんうん
Someone
ブ
interrupt
リゾン
this,
の作り込みいいよシワのつき方に
amazing-
だし
Okay, you guys can read this.
これ
You guys can read this. I'm just gonna... No, that's nice. That's nice.
マジですげえクオリティ高すぎ
Okay, you put the lid back on that awesome
これ
sauce.
セ
Put
ール
it
単
back
語
in the
作目にして
fridge.
早くも最高傑作爆誕じゃね
This is only the
これ
fifth model, yet they
なん
managed to
て
put out a
出せないって
masterpiece this
やっぱ貴島
quickly?
は神
Seriously, how do they expect to top this? Kijima is an actual god. Oh, we get to... That's the figure, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's wearing something different than last time. I don't think the hair is different. Not that I had it memorized. I carefully stood my new Saratan next to my monitor. Phoo, Sarah, you're so sexy, Sarah. Simply looking over at her made me grin uncontrollably. Life was good. Yeah, never mind all that other stuff that happened. Never mind being almost stabbed. Never mind the police, the murders. I got my waifu figure. We're set. I logged on and immediately started posting my impressions of my new Saratan figure on @channel. Grim, just, I don't know, bring this guy down a notch. When I finished doing that, I went to check my email, then checked to see if any of my friends on Frippara had posted any
おっ
updates.
とマイフレ申請来てるじゃん
Oh, I got a friend request.
誰これ?
Oh, do you now? Shogun? Shogun would be an interesting friend request.
セーラコミの人か
Probably someone from the Sarah fandom. Who's it gonna be? I'm gonna say Shogun, but it could be a lot of other options. I don't think it's the dark-haired girl whose name I already forgot. Unlikely to be Fess, but possible. Might be the murderer.
はいはいゲイで
If
すよ
there is some precognition or clairvoyance going on, then us talking to the cops might have given her reason to track us down. I'm going to say it's Shogun. Now then, time for ESO. But the very second I thought that, I felt chills on the nape of my neck. It was the gaze, complete with its usual intense presence. Whose eyes are those eyes? I'm surprised this delusion didn't come up during the detectives. Damn it, this was not the time. You are someone else's Mini. How does it feel to be the collectible? When had I first started feeling the gaze? I'd long since forgotten. It slithered its way into each and every part of my life, bothering the shit out of me all the way. There were a lot of things that disturbed my peace, but the gaze was right up there with Nanami as the most irritating thing I had to deal with. Fine then, let's do it. The it'll take more than that to make me turn around game. Still fixated on my monitor, I tried to think of some cool lines you'd hear in a manga. Sarah, help me out.
貴様出てこい
Come on out, you piece of shit.
僕の目をごまかせるとでも思った
Did
か
you think you could pull the wool over
Am I-
my eyes? How incredibly naive. There was no response, but why would there be? Hell, I'd be much more terrified if there had been. One of these days we're going to turn around, there's going to be a jump scare. At least the jump scare had the courtesy to knock this time. Huh? I heard something. Upon hearing it, I immediately whipped around. I'd lost today's no turning around game. Well, rarely does the gaze knock on something, so I'll give you a pass. There was no one else in the room. Was it just a hallucination? If it was Nanami, it'd be a lot louder, so who's it going to be? Please be a hallucination. From the bottom of my heart, that was all I hoped for. Nope. Sorry. It came again and just kept going. It was the sound again. I couldn't weasel my way out of this. It was the sound of someone knocking on my door from the outside. In other words, someone was here. So not Nanami, or it'd be noisier. It could be Yua, because it's post-awakening Sarah Day, and frankly we haven't seen her in a while. It could be one of the other sword girls. If it's the murderer, we're, oh dear. Practically no human beings ever came to visit me. Even newspaper salesmen wouldn't bother getting up on the roof. All I could think of was, a delivery guy? What's being delivered? Yeah, I'm not supposed to be getting any packages today. Nanami? No, Nanami would be much more obnoxious, exactly. She'd be banging on the door, screaming, "Big bro, open up!" making my eardrums bleed. Exactly. Yua? Chances of that were high. I'm glad you agree with me, but you saying that means it's probably not her. She'd been to my base once before. Had the demon girl ordered her to come kill me? But if that were true, why would she bother knocking? Because you padlock your door. The knocking sound continued. I was completely frozen in place trying to figure out what to do, but I couldn't come up with a single good idea that quickly. I started freaking out more and more. You need a security camera, my guy. Wait, I could just pretend like I wasn't home. Or was that being too cautious? Nobody's going to believe you're anywhere but home. Whoever's knocking on your door, I guarantee they went to @cafe first and they were like, well, he's not here. Only one other place. No, there was no such thing right now. Shibuya had gotten incredibly dangerous recently, after all. If it was Yua, there was absolutely no way I could let her in. If I did, it'd be pretty much asking to get killed. On a related note, was my door locked? I stared in the direction of the door, but thanks to the darkness, I couldn't see very well. I slowly got up and tiptoed toward the door, being careful not to make a sound. That was a sound. When I reached the center of the room, I finally knew for sure. The door... Why would you do that? Why would you ever not quadruple check your door to make sure it was locked with all the things that have been happening? You crazy ass son of a bitch. Chills assaulted my entire body. My door was not locked because I am an idiot. My heartbeat increased rapidly and my anxiety shot up along with it. I'd forgotten to lock my goddamn door. If someone just waltzed right on in right now and stabbed me in the back, I would have no right to complain. I would just be like, take me, I deserve it. I had to lock it fast. If I made a sound, they'd immediately find out that I was just pretending to not be home. Well, that was better than letting them get inside. I was about to bolt toward the door when... You kicked your soda bottle. Clean your damn room. This is why you need to clean your room, kids. Learn a lesson from Takumi here. I accidentally stepped on an empty boxed lunch that had fallen on the floor. I slipped to an almost comical degree and landed hard on my ass. The extreme pain made me moan in silent agony. Nothing silent about it, buddy. You fell, they know, your door's open, you're screwed. And then right before my eyes, the door slowly began to open. How dead are we? I didn't know who it was, but whoever had been knocking was now opening the door of their own accord. I tried to get up, but the pain kept my body from listening to me. All I could do was stare with teary eyes as the door opened. The first thing I saw was a hand. The sleeve on it was clearly from a Sume Academy uniform. It's the murderer, isn't it? They know we talked to the police, and they're going to be like, well... Next I saw hair. A little longer than Nanami's, but shorter than Yua's. Well, it's not Fess, and it might be the black-haired girl, but I doubt it. What's the color? If it's pink, we're boned. The hair stirred, and the last thing I saw was a face, suddenly peeking into the room. Yep.
Konnichiwa.
Hi. Hello. This is awkward. Our boy is about to lose his shit. Not that he had a great hold on his shit to begin with, but what little precarious hold was there is now pooched. That was when I finally realized who it was. Man, what cleaning products do you use to get the blood out of your uniform? I have to know. A person I never would have expected. The worst possible plot twist. Feelings of intense despair threatened to steal every bit of hope away from me. The demon girl. I thought it'd be Yua. I never thought the demon girl herself would come marching in. Oh, good, you're here. Our eyes met, and right as they did, the demon girl smiled with glee. Her smile sent chills down my spine. Oh, good! You've got one of my steaks here already.
もうどうして
Jeez, I was out there for forever. Why did it take you so long to answer? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Her hand, hidden by the door, had to be gripping one of those cross-shaped stakes. It had to be. No, she'll just use the one you've got. She's finally come to kill me. She's gonna kill me as she laughs and laughs in pure ecstasy. It had to be because of the detectives I've talked to. She'd seen me do it with her clairvoyance. I mean, the timing is rather impeccable. I'm curious what the meaning behind that is. Don't kill me, I tried to scream, but I was too terrified to make a sound. What? What's the matter, silly? You seem so worried and anxious. You have a really doughy donut? What? I could go for a donut. Tilting her head to the side, the demon girl unleashed a strange incantation. It's almost like she was trying to talk to me. It had to be some sort of demonic tongue. She was cursing me. In hopes of gaining as much distance as possible from her, I frantically started crawling backwards on my ass. Where are you going to go? My hands slipped countless times on random garbage scattered across the floor as I scrambled for the furthest thing away from me, my computer desk. Sarah, save me. Hey, can I come in?
っていうか入っちゃいます
Well, I guess I already kind of did, huh? The demon girl began encroaching further upon my territory. She even politely took off her
お
shoes.
邪魔しちゃった
Hope I'm not bugging you.
散らかってても
Oh,
私
and I don't mind being a little messy, so don't worry about it. That is not my primary concern. The door closed. My escape route had been cut off. Well, it was already cut off, but now it's extra cut off with walnuts. However, despite what I had thought earlier, the demon girl was only carrying a bag. I didn't see anything resembling a deadly weapon. Weapons can be in bags. I'm not sure if you knew that. Yeah, exactly. Wait, that just meant it was inside the bag. It's almost like bags can hold things. It had to be. I had to be extremely careful. The second I let my guard down, she'd swoop in and end me. Or maybe she already had with that curse she placed on me a minute ago. I'm just going to start melting. In a few days, my entire body would suddenly start spewing blood everywhere, and I'd die right then and there.
頼むよ
How did you get all of the blood out of the fourth victim, by the way? I have questions, some of them logistical. I beg you,
ないで
don't kill me. I got down on my hands and knees, cradling my head between my arms. Those goddamn detectives had completely fucked me over. Damn it, Japanese Columbo. I'm sorry I talked to the police, so please.
警察
Huh?
それに話して
And
も
even when I told them everything, they didn't believe a word I said. It was a lie meant to buy me some time. I mean, we don't know for a fact she knows you talked to the police. It's just funny timing. The older detective had said he'd guarantee my safety. So much for that. If he was doing his job properly, he'd have to have sent at least one officer over to my place. Upon thinking that, I suddenly realized I'd given the old man my phone number. But I hadn't given him my address. Well, fuck.
石
Bishi! What the hell does that mean? Eek! Suddenly, the demon girl assumed a pose resembling a salute. And what was just as, if not more strange, was what she'd said. It was almost like a sound effect. Was it another demonic curse?
独り言はやめるべし
You're gonna stop talking like that right now. Oh, is this a power?
警察がどうと
Stuff
か
like, don't kill me, the police, or any other weird stuff like that. I've got no clue what any of it means. What? Was she trying to play dumb? Or was this her roundabout way of threatening me, and in actuality she was saying, forget the truth, act as if nothing ever happened? Are the users of these weapons all going to have something akin to dissociative identity disorder? Is that going to be how this plays out? That would explain a thing or three. What the hell was she thinking? Hadn't she come here to kill me?
ほら立てる
Come on, can you stand? Here, let me help you up. The demon girl walked toward me, then slowly reached out her hand. Her expression was so gentle, and now that I'm seeing her up close, she was actually pretty cute. Did you learn nothing from Yua? Damn it, I was letting her get to me. Stop acting like a goddamn idiot. You simp. Was I seriously calling a demon pretty cute? She was a murderer. She'd used Yua and Shogun to trap me. And now she'd come to finish me off herself. Is she actually going to be Shogun? We still have questions there. Don't trust her. I'd already learned my lesson back with Yua. Exactly. Listen to what Psy'Min says. I'd never make the same mistake again. I refuse to take her hand. Don't be deceived by this demon girl's smile. She was a demon trying to tempt me. If I gave in to that temptation, I'd die. Trust no one. Don't believe anything. Don't believe anything anyone says. You're already literally cornered in a box. I'm pretty sure she wanted to kill you. She'd be doing it. But I saw you kill someone. Taku? Don't you realize that's a pretty mean thing to say? What is this stance? Exactly. Let's not talk about that. That's such a mean thing for you to bring up. Hey, let's talk about your new figure. I can't say I'd ever thought I'd get called a murderer. Gosh, all I do is murder people, but it doesn't mean we have to make it a thing. Ha 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 ha. What was she gonna do to me? Aren't you gonna kill me? Just like with the guy in the fourth case. Was she gonna... For new gen? Or are you gonna take me to where Yua and Shogun... Yua? Shogun? Who are those guys? Maybe the three of them had decided to work together. That way I wouldn't be able to fight back when they beat me to death. No, please. Anything but that. Anything but the delusion I just came up with in my own head. Help me! Help me, Japanese Columbo! Okay, I promise I help you as long as you stop treating me like a murderer. But you're a murderer. So that was her true goal. Oh, come on, don't freak out like that. You really react like this to every other thing I say, and it always bums me out. What is the story here? Is she actually the joke that I'm making where she's just, yeah, okay, I'm a murderer, but we don't need to make a big thing about it, or does she literally not know what the hell is going on? Please, I won't tell a single soul about you again, so please let me go. Hello, Taku! Would you calm down just a little? This bitch acting like we're close to something, calling me Taku and shit. Do not piss off the serial killer. Wait, actually, how did she know my name? She'd already known it back when we first met at the crucifixion crime scene. Wait, how did she know it? And also, how did she know where my base was? I mean, why wouldn't I? It only makes sense. Uh-oh. Why know your name, I mean. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, she can read minds. She can hear my thoughts. Okay, well, that's another power for the list. Has she just read my mind? I knew she was clairvoyant. She knew my name, my address, all because she'd used her powers on me. You sure do talk to yourself a whole lot, Taku. Then again, you've pretty much always done that. Always? How long was she talking? Wait, had I been talking to myself out loud just now? I hadn't been aware of it at all. Was that really true? Had I really been talking to myself out loud? Or was it possible that she was just lying to me and in actuality she'd read my mind? Hey, the words weren't in quotes. Why wouldn't I know your name, Taku? I mean, I know I'm not great at remembering stuff, but... At the very least, I'll always remember the names of my friends. The fuck? Where the hell is this going? And coming from? And what is happening right now? We're at an hour. I gotta let this scene play out, though. I can't just interrupt it here. Also, Taku, are you making fun of me? Sure, my test scores aren't that high, but we are getting gaslit hard. It kind of hurts when you say that sort of thing to my face, you know. Was someone here crazy? Yes. But who was it? Me? Her? Yes. Could you be a transfer student? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, there's apparently a transfer student moving into our class soon. Mr. Tsukichin said something like that. Whoa, 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 wait a minute. A transfer student moving into our class soon? We know Fess doesn't go to school that often. Does this girl actually go to our class, but we don't know because we go on different days? And if that's the case, does that somehow tie into the identity disorder? Is this our other identity? Oh, fuck. Huh. She somewhat looks kind of Saratan-ish, which would tie in. Are we fight clubbing right now? I think we're fight clubbing right now. There were two different conversations going on here. Yeah, no kidding. My terror from earlier, together with the anxiety of having no idea when I'd get killed, was starting to fade. But rushing in to replace it was a completely new kind of dread, slithering to slowly erode my mind. Hello? Judging by your face, I'm guessing you still don't believe me. Who are you? Let's establish basic introductions first here. Who are they? A murderer or a demon girl? That was who. Wow, you can't even remember what your own classmate looks like? I can't believe you. Did she say classmate? So we weren't just friends, but classmates too? Well, I guess I can't bug you too much about it. You don't come to school very often after all. However, that doesn't mean you can just totally forget I exist. Come on, don't tell me you forgot my name too. And there's my answer. Ouch. Yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, are you one of Mizumi's girlfriends? Ahem. Fine then, I'll make you remember. My name is... Okay, I don't think we've encountered that name yet, although I could be wrong. Sakihara Rimi. Still nothing. That, what she said. Sakihata Rimi. Sakihata Rimi. I hadn't even heard the name before. Besides, other than you, I'd never met a 3D girl who talked to me like we were this close in my life, aside from Nanami. And Yua was the demon girl's underling. Wait, that was it. What the girl calling herself Sakihara was doing right now was exactly the same as what you had done. Gaslight you? This temptress knew I wasn't used to interacting with 3D girls, so she was attempting to lead me into a trap by behaving all friendly and trying to seduce me. It was the exact same strategy. Dude, she can read your mind! Shut up! And the thing is, while I barely remembered my classmates' faces at all, and I didn't plan to either, I could say with absolute certainty that I'd never seen this girl's face in the same classroom as me before. Probably? Damn it, I couldn't completely rule it out. After all, whenever I was at school, I usually glued to my desk until the final bell, pretending to sleep, having delusions, staring at my desk, or feigning reading my textbooks. I didn't do anything else. This girl's been sitting behind you for the past, 6 months. It's like, who is this murder person? Meanwhile, they're just like, hey, do you know the answer to question 12? I had next to no memory of my classmates' names and faces, so I didn't even try to remember any. Except Mizumi. Which was it? Was she telling the truth or was it all a lie? I'm surprised a delusion check hasn't come up yet. No, it didn't matter whether or not we were classmates, because the one thing I knew for sure, the one hard, indisputable fact, was that she had committed murder. Taku, is your memory really that bad? Well, whatever. I know! How about you ask Daichin? How about you ask Daichin? Who's Daichin? Who the hell was that? Was that a person or some sort of secret code? Another demonic incantation? Come on, Daichin! Daichin! Oh, Mizumi Daisuke. Yeah, we can ask Mizumi. He would know if a cute girl is in his class. That is basically his area of expertise. She knew Mizumi's name? And not only that, but she was calling him Daichin? She wouldn't call him that unless they were really close. Okay, here, take a look. The demon girl quickly zeroed in on my cell phone that I had left lying on the sofa, picked it up, and held it out to me. It seemed like she wanted me to try calling Mizumi-kun. I didn't like using phones, but she might kill me if I went against her orders. Driven by fear and with no other choice, I went to call him. Only to realize I didn't know his phone number. Upon seeing me freeze up in confusion, the demon girl tilted her head in confusion once again. Then, after a moment, she came up beside me and peered over my shoulder at the screen. Yeah, we've got we've got 3 numbers in here. Mom, Dad, and Nanami. Her hair swayed as she moved, sending the pleasant fragrance of shampoo drifting down to the tip of my nose. No, she's a demon. I'll never let her seduce me. I'm not into 3D. Lend me your power, Saratan. Keep me strong. Do you not know his phone number? You have no idea the caliber of loser you're dealing with right now. I'm sorry. You could have just told me that. Sorry, let me punch it in for you. With a light apology, the demon girl snatched the phone from my hand. Her fingers grazed mine for a fleeting moment. They were warm. I guess both demons and humans had the same blood running through their veins. Let's see. Daichin's number should be this, then that, then that. The demon girl entered his number without a hitch. It was clear she'd dialed it many times before. Yeah, of course. This is his side chick. Alrighty, it's ringing. She held the cell phone out to me with a smile. Is there going to be like a video chat so that he can see us? Not knowing what else to do, I ended up taking it for no real reason, putting it up to my ear. I heard the sound of the phone ringing. Eventually that sound stopped and was replaced by the voice of Mizumi-kun. Yellow! They didn't give their name. It sounded like they were downtown or something, as I could hear a bunch of noise coming through the receiver. Who's this? I really hated phones. I had no idea whether or not it was Mizumi-kun on the other end. The voice sounded like his, but I also had the strange feeling that something was slightly different about it. Again, we went on this monologue last episode about voices on phones not necessarily being the person or changing or being affected by stuff and not being sure of what you're hearing. I wonder how that's going to play into things. It's clearly being referenced again here. Or it's just our delusion again. Taku, did Daichin pick up? This time the demon girl peered at me from right in front of me. Shit, she was way too close. I turned my back to her and steeled myself. Spin! Her hair is pretty close to Sarah's. It's slightly shorter and not symmetrical, but it's kind of there. Nishi... Oh, it's Taku! Wait, you have a phone? When the fuck did that happen? Wait, wasn't that a bit strange? How had he figured out it was me that quickly? I hadn't even gotten halfway through my name yet. Oh, I didn't recognize the number, so I was wondering who it was. Does this mean you finally went and got yourself a phone? Nanami had to drag you to get that shit, didn't she? For example, there was the possibility that the demon girl had made a phone call to someone who only sounded like Mizumi-kun. God, this guy's paranoid. Maybe this person who sounded like Mizumi-kun was just another underling of hers, and he was only pretending to be Mizumi-kun in order to trick me. Ask him something only Mizumi-kun would know. Maybe the demon girl already knew that I didn't know Mizumi-kun's phone number, and so she'd been leading up to this all this time. Good plan. I was starting to doubt anything and everything. I didn't know what was true and what was a lie. I'm just going to grab my Saratan figure, get under the desk, and sit in the fetal position hugging it. Hold on, what the hell kind of trap was the demon girl trying to make me fall into anyway? Why even bother with a trap this elaborate? Yeah, she could just stab you right now. Fair point. In a situation like this, wouldn't it be easier and quicker for her to just go ahead and kill me already? Or was there some reason behind it? Some kind of prerequisite saying she had to trick me, even if it meant taking it this slow? No, maybe it was some hidden camera type thing, spearheaded by Mizumi-kun. The girl wasn't actually my classmate, but Mizumi-kun's girlfriend, one of 47, and he'd sent her here in order to screw with me. As fucking if. Just screaming at the phone, Mizumi-kun, you asshole! If that were the case, how the hell would I explain everything that's happened at the crucifixion crime scene? So, what's up, Taku? You've been quiet for 8 minutes. It's not every day I get rung up by you. I'm stoked! This is awesome! Though to be honest, I can't say I'm all that happy about getting a call from a dude. Could you put a wig on or something? His tone of voice sounded exactly like Mizumi-kun's. I know, right? I sound like this all the time. The more I heard, the more convinced I was that the person on the other end had to be him. You looking for advice on how to seduce chicks or something? As if you'd ever call me about that. Should I start talking? I sensed a gaze on my back. The girl was staring at me. The chills on the back of my neck still hadn't gone away. What kind of expression was the girl making? I wanted to turn around to see for myself, but I was too scared. If you don't need anything, then I'm hanging up. I don't have the time to piss around waiting for you to say something. I'm with a girl right now, in case you hadn't guessed. Wait! Seriously, what is it? If you got something to say, hurry up and spit it out. She's gonna have to take the phone from us and do this for us, really. You what? Hurry up and spit it out. Our class? Yeah, what about our class? In it. What's in it? A girl. Who? Sakahata is her name. Despite steadily becoming more and more incoherent, I somehow managed to explain myself. I'm so proud of you. Suddenly, Mizumi-kun stopped responding. Uh-oh. Silence. However, I could still hear the noise of the city around him, so the call hadn't disconnected or anything. Why wasn't he talking? The next thing I heard was an extremely exaggerated sigh. Look, are you sure you haven't got gamer brain or whatever? What? Where'd that come from? And not only was it completely out of left field, but he'd brought up that bullshit condition that had been coined despite having no scientific backing whatsoever. Oh, it took me a sec since you used her last name and all. You're talking about Rimi, yeah? How? I know you say you're not into 3D girls all the time, but have you really forgotten about her? Forget me. You've been in the same class with us since the first year of high school, if I remember right. I mean, come on. The three of us saw a movie together pretty recently. The fuck is going on right now? I couldn't comprehend what the person that sounded like Mizumi-kun was saying. He'd said that the demon girl and I had been in the same class since first year, and that the three of us had seen a movie together pretty recently. If that was the case, then why did she say, like, I'd been looking for you, or thank goodness, or whatever, in the alleyway, as though we hadn't met before? What is the story here? Pretty recently? But when exactly? We wouldn't have become pals if it wasn't for Rimi. I was hanging out with her when we met. After all, she and I mesh really well together, you know, with how whimsical we both are. This world's pretty huge, but even then, Rimi and I are just about the only ones who'd bother talking to a neat like you. Whoops, that might have been a bit harsh, ha ha ha. We're not a neat, we're in school. What is going on right now? We're going way over, but I gotta finish this scene. The words I heard on the other end of the call, not a single one of them felt real to me. I had absolutely no memory of any of it. I couldn't acknowledge that any of that had happened in the past. I just couldn't. It was all some story that the person who sounded like Mizumi-kun had made up. It couldn't be my past. The past could only be established as truth if a person remembered it, so if I didn't remember it, it wasn't true. Well, while we're at it, I've been meaning to say that Rimi doesn't exactly act like much of a girl at all, does she? Kind of throws me off, but, hey, don't tell her I said that. I'm right here, asshole. Who are you? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Have you seriously lost it? If you've forgotten even me, too, then you really have been playing too many games. Unable to take it anymore, I hung up the phone. Well, maybe we are Shogun. Yeah, here comes that panic attack. My breathing had grown extremely heavy without me noticing. The sweat that had been beading on my forehead showed no signs of stopping. In fact, it was increasing. Long trails of sweat trickled down my entire body, starting from my face and ending at my feet. Taku, you're covered in sweat. The demon girl, looking worried at me, calmly offered me a handkerchief. A cute, patternless vermilion handkerchief. There was a faint floral scent to it. Instead of taking it, I attempted to somehow maintain my composure and organize my thoughts about everything that was happening. But in the end, it didn't go too well. I was doubting anything and everything, causing all my thoughts to rapidly churn together into a chaotic whirlpool. Man, these gaslighters are good. Sighing in minor disappointment, the demon girl put away her handkerchief, and then, with a triumphant look on her face, she asked me a question.
で、大臣はなんて
So, what'd Daichin say? She was acting like she already knew the answer. I couldn't afford to answer her. What was she? An ordinary classmate of mine? Or a monster? I had no idea. Maybe I was the crazy one. Starting to lean that way. Taking the chat with Shogun into consideration, I couldn't rule out the possibility that someone other than myself was controlling my body. That doesn't explain why the message is going to the past, though. Or maybe all my memories of the demon girl, or the girl named Sakahata Rimi, had somehow gotten knocked right out of me due to some freak accident or something. That is some selective amnesia. At this point, I didn't know anything about myself for sure. Did I have amnesia? Did I sleepwalk? Or could it be something else entirely?
大丈夫
Are you okay? Very much not.
体辛いなら
If you're not feeling good, you could try lying down on the sofa. The demon girl spoke to me kindly. Don't let your guard down. Anyone who acts nice to an otaku freak like me must have some kind of ulterior motive. I shook my head, putting my strong will to resist against the demon girl on full display. You do not have a strong will. Then using that same strength that you don't have, I raised my head. Sweat got in my eyes, blurring my vision. The demon girl's face was a lot closer than I'd expected it to be. What color eyes were those?
なんで
Why?
何々
Why what?
ここにいる
Are you here?
あ
Oh, sorry about that.
勝手に入っちゃ
I
って
kind of did just come barging in without asking, didn't I?
でもノックしてたんだよ
Well, I did knock, you know.
タクは全然出てきてくれないし
But no matter how much I knocked, you didn't answer, and then I heard a big noise come from inside, and I got really worried. This is not answering the question. Why are you here? Here. Why?
今度は何
What is it this time?
ここにいる
Are you here? No one asked what caused her to trespass. My question was, what was her reason for coming here at all? If she'd come to kill me, she would have done it a long time ago, so why wasn't she doing anything?
ああここに来た理由
Oh, you want to know why I'm here? Just a sec. The demon girl reached into her bag and pulled out a single sheet of paper. Is it going to be our questionnaire?
はい
This is why.
進路希望のプリント
I brought you the worksheet asking about what you want to be when you graduate and stuff. So here, post-graduation aspirations. Is this something from class? I found myself taking it from her without really thinking. She brought us the homework we missed? I'm sorry, what? She wasn't lying. The piece of paper did have graduation's aspirations written on it, along with 3 blank spaces to write your answers in. Was that it? Was that really all she'd come for?
帰ってよ
Please go home. I didn't want anything to do with her. I didn't want anything to do with any 3D girls. Boy, reality is hitting this man hard. This is a trap. Don't listen to her. This isn't reality. This is a game, one filled with way too many bugs. There are way too many contradictions. It didn't hold together as a proper story.
僕に関わらないでよ
Stay away from me. If you don't intend to kill me, then just leave me alone. You're going to have to deal with this girl every day in class now, because she probably isn't skipping school like you are, which means she's in the room every time. How's that going to go? If you don't intend to kill me, then just leave me alone. I am me. Some me that isn't me may be friends with Sakahata Rimi, but that me has nothing to do with the current me. That is some interesting language you got going on there. Cradling my head, I closed myself off completely. I kept trembling and trembling, envisioning that the girl known as Sakahata Rimi wasn't there anymore. Not long after, I heard the sound of the door opening, telling me that the demon girl had left. I think our boy's got some serious mental health issues. And we're back. In the midst of a pitch-black room, the pale light of a PC monitor cut through the darkness. Is Shogun going to be talking to us? Pictured on the screen was a Sarah screensaver from Bloodtoon the animation. Do people still use screensavers? Is that a thing? While there had been a girl by the name of Sakahara Rimi present in the container half a day prior, the only figure that remained was the container's owner, Nishijo Takame. I don't know why I trip over that guy's last name, but half a day, huh? It was already 5 in the morning. We've just been doing exactly what I said before, fetal position under the desk for the last 12 hours. In Takame's daily life, he would be playing online games until dawn and then collapse onto the sofa once he could no longer keep his eyes open. Even now, Takame was asleep on the couch, twisted in a seemingly uncomfortable position. I was about to say, is he asleep? I'm not sure he is. He never used his bed for sleep. He did indeed have a proper bed, but it was already occupied by manga, CDs, and other random piled-up media. Get more shelves, dude. He could never be bothered to tidy it up, so his bed had effectively been repurposed into his storeroom. Ever since then, he had utilized his 2-person sofa as his one and only place to sleep. A pained moan escaped from Takame's lips. Perhaps he was having a nightmare. His entire body was perspiring, and his closed eyes twitched and trembled. What is going... Like, if our guy is asleep, why are we getting narration? Is something about to happen? And we're talking about him in the third person as well. His expression was warped in agony. Not ours, his. And he was tossing and turning so frequently, he came very close to falling off the couch. Right before he did, however, his eyes suddenly and inexplicably shot open as he faced the ceiling. They were bloodshot, and his eyeballs were faintly convulsing. Are we sleepwalking? Still, in that state without blinking even a single time, he rose from the sofa. He slowly staggered toward the PC. Without sitting down, he moved the mouse as he stood before the desk. The screensaver disappeared, and his desktop showed itself. The pale light of the monitor shone on Takame's face, illuminating his horrifyingly vacant expression. His body swayed back and forth, and his mouth hung slightly ajar. Drool seeped down his chin. His current state was a textbook example of sleepwalking. Oh damn! Oh no! Here we go. The delirious boy launched the web browser, then opened that channel. His movement itself was languid and slow, but he showed no hesitation in selecting a thread from the board related to New Gen. The board listed a total of around 60 threads, and Takame slowly opened each of them one by one. And then, with his eyes remaining glued to the monitor, he began to type. He repeated this action for each and every thread. His posts were not particularly long, only housing a few characters each, but they all composed of the exact same sentence. Whose eyes are those eyes? Well then. Hello, Shogun. How are you today? Chapter end? No, but episode end. Well, shall we digest these events? Yeah. Okay. That was something. So, let's find out what the results of our diagnosis, hospital stay here. What exactly is our conversation with the doc going to be? Yeah, got a lot to process. I'm not even going to bother with the outro. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.